Hi, I'm Tim Carter, AskTheBuilder.com. Another day at the job site. This is not my job. I'm not building this home. If you discover something new, and there's a good chance you're going to, I'd appreciate it if you would click that thanks button below the video. Every single dollar that I raise, I plow back into the channel to make more videos for you faster. They were here this morning and they formed up to pour the slab. Let's take a look. You're looking at just a standard 2x6, and they've got it formed up here so that the concrete won't spill out onto the gravel. This extra little piece of 2x6 is because there is a seam right here. All right, there's a seam here, so you've got to put this on to bolster that, to keep the top edge straight. But let's go look at some other really interesting things. Out here in the middle of the slab, they put a stake, and they've got a nail in it. And they drove that down to a particular height because that is going to be the top of the slab, and they're going to screed off of that. In other words, that's where they're going to take their screed. And you can see they chalked lines all around the inside of the foundation. And I know it might be hard to see them down there. That's going to be the top of the slab. Now, what's going to happen is, this slab, I'm in the garage. This slab, that's going to be the highest point of the slab, and it's going to slope down, so any water that is in here goes out to this outside. But that's a mistake. They should have put floor drains in here. Because what happens here in New Hampshire is if you have a lot of snow melt and all that water hits the bottom of the gasket on the garage door, it freezes. Although here it probably is not going to freeze because they've got the floor heated. But many other garages, the water freezes, and then when you go to open up the garage door, it rips the rubber gasket off the bottom of the door. Here's something that's really strange. In all my years of building, I have never seen this. Look at this. These 6x6s right here. Big 6x6s. And then there's a gap underneath it. You see this gap? In other words, that footing was not level. And I guess, I can only imagine this is going to be a bearing wall, but they don't have support underneath it. That 6x6 is going to bow with any concentrated loads on it. What a mistake. I'm just down the street from where the house is being built. I want to show you why it's a really bad idea to put treated lumber underneath a structural wall. Look at this. These are all treated lumber posts, you know, as a guardrail. And look what happens to them. Yeah, they rot out. They rot out. Now, granted, you're not going to have a lot of running water going underneath that garage slab, but you know what? You're going to have water in the garage. So you tell me if it's a smart move to put treated lumber underneath a bearing wall. Check this out. Rot. More rot. A bunch of them are rotted. Who would put treated lumber? It's just crazy. In here they've got a raised, a raised form, and the only thing I can imagine is that they're going to let the concrete go underneath that. But notice, as I talked about in the video before, they did not put any insulation underneath the radiant heating tubes. That is going to be a huge mistake. What a shame. What a darn shame. They made a nice octagonal form for around the sewage ejection pump, and that'll be nice. But I don't know how they're going to finish the inside here. It's going to be really interesting to see. Maybe there's some type of special octagonal lid that will fit on top of the concrete. And you can see what they did here. Pretty smart idea. They drove nails in the side of the form here. That's going to be the top of the concrete. So that's what those nails are for. And the same thing here. You can see the chalk lines. That is going to be the top of the slab. They'll be very careful when they put the concrete in so they don't lose that line. That's a very standard practice. But what's interesting, if we go down here, it looks to me, it looks to me that the concrete is going to end up, just there. You can actually see the chalk line up on the third treated plate. There continue to be lots of surprises here. It's going to be quite interesting to see how this all turns out. My guess is there are going to be quite a few puddles in the floor. I'm not at all impressed with what's going to happen. I don't like how that concrete's poured up against the treated lumber plates. I don't like the octagonal form around the sewage ejection pump. And I especially don't like that treated lumber 6x6 that is got, are you kidding me? It's got that huge gap underneath it. That's insanity. It's insanity. But that's obviously going to be a wall. They're going to put a wall on top of that. And here's what's even crazier. You wait and see. As we follow the job, that's going to have a lot of weight on it because it's going to carry a lot of the weight for the concrete floor that's going to be up above in the upper garage. Remember, there's 2 garage doors up above, and it's going to be really interesting to think about all that weight pressing down on those 6x6s that have the gap underneath it. Remember, if you discovered something new, click that thanks text link underneath the video. And remember, every single dollar that I raise, I plow back into the channel to make more videos for you faster. I'm Tim Carter. This has been AskTheBuilder.com. And did you notice? Got a hoodie on today. Cold. It's going to snow soon. And it's just the 3rd week of September. It's only 2 days after the first day of fall. That's what happens in New Hampshire. You got to build quickly or you get stuck in the bad weather. I'm Tim Carter, AskTheBuilder.com. If you want to discover more home improvement tips, go to AskTheBuilder.com.